Hello, welcome to Boost and I'll play some Forza Motorsports 7. So, yeah, new Forza games come out. I apologise for the late upload today. It's been out for a week. Yeah, it would have been a week now. Yeah, 7 days. You've probably already seen videos on it, fail race and stuff. If not, go and watch them. That'll sort of be... fail race especially, I'd say, gives a good coverage. I'll play a decent amount of this, but I don't expect it to become sort of too consistent. I like to change things up. Anyway, yeah. Right. As a quick review, this game is much better on the driving side. The cars handle a lot nicer. I'd say it's a lot more fun. The career mode, well, I think it's a bit more grindy. It does feel more rewarding and you do actually want to play it, unlike previous Forza games. I'd say out of all the Forza games on Xbox One, this is by far the best career mode, which is good. Everything else though, I feel like they've kind of messed up, I'm going to be honest. So let's go through some of the flaws. I'll do a race afterwards. I built up Pontiac, Solstice. And yeah, so that's the car collection. Doesn't seem like a bad idea at first, and for the most part, you don't even notice it. So what it does is it groups cars together. Basically, it gives sort of like a price range for a bunch of cars or whatever, and you need to you need to buy cars to increase your tier, your car collector tiers. Currently I'm on Super Rare. Every time you win a new car or buy a new car, you unlock it. You get a few more points and can progress further. It's basically, you don't notice this for the most part. Like, it's just sort of there in the background and doesn't really affect you, apart from in the career where it really seems to slow down progression, because there's quite a few cars that I may be able to afford, but I can't buy them because of this. You know how everyone hated the XP system in Gran Turismo 5? It's basically that again. Like, at first I didn't see the point of this, and now I still don't, because all it's done is given some cars some odd pricing. And for the higher end cars, as Failray said, well, all these are locked, but if you look at the price in the top right corner, most expensive cars are 1.5 million. There we go, the Renault F1 car, for example. So, there we go. All the Horizon editions are legendary. So there we go, yeah. These cars are... well, actually some of these are oddly priced, but yeah. They're all sort of grouped together in prices. So there's some odd pricing. For the most part, expensive cars much cheaper. Some of the really classic cars aren't absurd prices anymore. They're a lot less realistic, but a lot better for grinding. You don't need to grind as much and to earn as much money. But then, as you sort of get into lower cars, there's some confusion. BMW X6M and the Range Rover, 435,000 each. Why? Porsche Cayenne, 430,000. Like, some of these race cars, maybe even the Countach, some of these I can accept the price on. DB11 though, that's sort of a bit weird. Yeah, it's sort of odd. The Nissan Skyline R34, for example, is 210,000. Which is just odd. I don't get why. Like, I'm all for lowering the price of the more expensive cars. That, to me, makes sense. But, like, now you've made all the slower cars that less affordable. And combined with the calculation thing, it just doesn't work, I don't think. Although, I don't know, maybe other people will enjoy it, I don't know. I personally just think it slows down the game without adding anything. There's specialty dealers, which I suppose gives an excuse for using the auction house. Basically, they're unicorn cars that you have one shot of buying. I think they're up for like a week, and then they're swapped out. Yeah. Tuning and upgrade. So, homologation. Here's what this is. So, right, you see there's my stats. I have sport tyres, 305 tyre widths, 425 horsepower. To the left of that is the restrictions for this class. So, yeah, you have limits on what you can put a car into. Each car only has one set of restrictions and can only race against similar cars in the same categories. So think of it sort of like the Forza Horizon Championships, and actually I suppose Forza 6, I can't remember Forza 5, but yeah, imagine that. It's basically like that, only it's incredibly restrictive. At first it seems like a good idea, until you realise that the entire reason this is there is to get rid of leaderboard cars. Now, I'm not sure which designer or developer at Turn 10 thought this would actually stop leaderboard cars, but I don't think they understand how leaderboard cars come about. Because it's not because there aren't enough restrictions, it's because the PI is imbalanced. And they did nothing to fix the PI, no. They've just put restrictions on, which means now that you're sort of forced into different cars constantly. Which can be good on some occasions, like, I don't want to drive an F1 car, or single-seater open-wheel cars lots. But at the same time, now, cars I really enjoy, there are only some races which allow you to have any car in them, and you only get put up against cars in that homologation class. So, yeah, you're basically just sort of forced into switching cars, and you never really want to spend any time or effort on them. You may as well just auto-upgrade them. And it doesn't really make a difference, since you're going to be changing so much and spending so much money. Yeah, I feel like they should have put more restrictions, or had like multiple tiers of restrictions, so you could have like a amateur, which would be like this, a sort of semi-pro one, which would maybe have a few more sort of looser restrictions, higher PI, maybe like a minimum weight or something, or maybe have like power to weight ratio as a restriction instead. I think that could work a lot better for balancing things out. Or you could just, I don't know, fix the PI. Have like a update every couple of weeks where if there's a very obvious leaderboard car, just sort of, make some tweaks to that car so it gets less performance, or gets higher PI from each performance part. And yeah, just for while the game's released, for like the 12 months that you're releasing monthly DLCs, just, Turn 10, update the game to balance things out. Works a lot better and would be a lot more fun than homologation. Anyway, let's do a race. As I've said, the driving is hugely improved. I think best driving physics a Forza game has ever had. And I'm including Horizon from that. Where should we drive? Mugello is back. Do race setup. And you know what, we'll do 4 laps, sure, 23. Sure, circuit. Aerial Nomad spec. Okay. So yeah, that means that only aerial nomads can race against each other. Formula Master spec. Okay, these make a lot more sense for the racing cars, but some of these don't. So if I just find, what class is this in? Is it GT Coupes or something? I must have gone past it. Is it Sport GT? I can't remember. I probably should have paid attention. It's fine. If I just exit by here, go back in, Sport Coupe, that's it. That would have been a lot quicker anyway. Track scenario, so. Alright, rain isn't available for this track. Never mind. Guess we're not using Mugello. That's a shame. So to pull the Gran Turismo on us and had some tracks not have rain. Where should we go then? Oh, where'd I go? Maple Valley we'll go to. Why not? Returning track. There we go. No, we can have rain for this. No nighttime. Yeah. If I go to weather options, we can start it as partly cloudy, moderate rain, going to heavy rain with a 40% chance, and 60% chance of going into moderate rain midway through the race. Which is quite nice. I do quite like the sort of limiting on that. It's also quite nice that you can adjust car restrictions and things. So they have you can also have grip handicaps. So it's quite nice that they've added multiplayer restrictions into single player. I do quite like that, and it does mean that you can have your own spec races. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. I feel like you can recreate some of the early championships in the early Forza games that had, say, like specific weight, minimum weight, and other stuff like that, which is quite good. As I've said, the racing massively improved. Let's just go and race now. I've sort of dragged this out long enough. Mods are back. You can only get them in prize crates. Turning off assist doesn't give you bonuses. So yeah, something shady going on there, Forza. If it isn't obvious, they're trying to make us buy more crates, which is a little shady, seeing as you can spend actual money to buy in-game currency, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's the case, at least. Which is I don't like the way they're doing that, but oh well. I don't. Literally, it's just if I'm given a prize crate, I'll use it, and use the mods. But I'm not going out my way to buy them. You don't get any special cars from crates. All right, here we are then at the beginning of the race. And what's great about this now, you can adjust the race setup, change your car before the race, even upgrade, modify your car, go into the upgrade shop, even get new tuning things before the race actually starts. It's all loaded up, which I think is great. They've improved the sort of before race HUD so much. So let's just get into this. We're up against like Porsches and Ferraris and whatnot. Be careful on the first turn too. I'd recommend just having rewind on, since it doesn't affect you. It doesn't change your credit. But yeah, if you mess up the first turn, there's no restart button. You've got to quit out and go back in, which admittedly isn't like that long, but it can be it can be annoying. I've gone a good run through those first few turns. I made it over the long race thinking that I'd struggle to pass everyone and make my way through the pack, but no, it's fortunately we managed to make our way through. The AI, I'd say they're about the same as before. They seem sort of a little less aware of you, but I'm wondering whether that's just because it's early and driver tiles supposedly sort of learn from you. And actually in the showcase events, which don't use driver tiles, they are rather good. So yeah, they seem a little unaware of you will sort of push. Oh, we're going to go off there. But the worst part about them is they rubber band. No, not rubber band. Because that means they would help you at some point. No, they have unfair amount of power. So basically, the AI, if you have them on unbeatable difficulty, they are quite literally unbeatable. Well, I'm not sure how true they are from what I've read on the Forza subreddit, which has been rather hating this game. One person had an experience of a car gaining 2,700 horsepower down a straight and hitting like 320 kilometers an hour. Much faster than he could ever hit, and no car in the game can hit 2,700 horsepower. So yeah, let's just rewind a bit. That's a bit annoying. Also, the entirety of these races basically depend on how quickly you get through the first couple of turns. Because there's no qualifying feature and you just sort of get dumped mid-pack, you've got no chance of making it to the front if you don't climb up through the grid in your first turn. I got incredibly lucky and made it into second, as you saw. But yeah, in most of the career mode races, it's incredibly frustrating. You can adjust the race length difficulty, so you can make the races longer, which gives you a fighting chance of making it onto the podium in some cases. Although I will say Maple Valley is incredibly good for passing into the first turn especially, so it is quite nice. This Jaguar isn't stopping. Rain should come at any moment now, unless we've gone lucky 40% of it not arriving. From the looks of it, we have. Going off again. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah. They're weird. Well, not really. It isn't statistically unlikely. Well, actually, well, it is kind of. Yeah, there is still a chance of it raining. I'm not sure why I was just waiting for us to get further through the race or something. Since it did say mid-race probability. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, driving. I'm not really sure what they've done to the physics, but whatever they've done, they've improved it. I'm not sure whether it's just because I've stopped driving mid-engine cars as often, since there's no Toyota MR2 in this game. But no. Yeah, cars seem generally a lot more stable. They feel like they have a lot more rear end grip, and feel overall like a lot more chuckable. Like even I can hold slides. This is going pretty well. Not a great exit, but you know. No, never mind. Going sideways that and spinning. Rewind is still really annoying since you can't pick precise moments to go back. All the trees are incredibly 2D, I've just noticed. Oh, we've lost some positions. Okay, yeah. That sort of part of the driver tiles being dense. If they sort of don't predict where you're going, is the thing. If they see you sort of swerving back, they don't sort of give you a wide space just to be safe. They'll just sort of barge right into you, which can be annoying. There are many times where I've been spun out just because I've gone up the inside of a driver tower and understeered, and they just won't do anything about it other than just drive on into me with nothing I can really do other than get pinned. Oh, no, come on. The red line for lots of the cars too seem like where it says on the tachometer seems to be way earlier than it actually is. Here comes the rain. I'd imagine this is the end race probability of heavy rain. Yeah, although it may be light, the rain actually has been improved significantly. It actually feels like rain now. It isn't just dry with some random no grip zones. It's the entire road surface becomes slipperier. Oh, the TT spin around. The caution ahead is a nice touch too, although for the most part it isn't really that useful. It is just nice to have. Yeah, here comes the rain now. Yeah, your car overall feels a lot less stable in the rain. There are, of course, puddles that will form, but the road surface itself gets a lot more slipperier. You can feel it, even in moderate rain. I haven't tried light rain yet, but I imagine it's the same. We are blind because of the spray. It just feels so much more atmospheric, and all-wheel drive cars really do get a benefit like they should in the rain. So, yeah, that is a nice touch. I'd imagine now people are going to start making separate tunes, especially for the rain. Sacrificing a few PI just to have a wheel drive or whatever, which is interesting, and I think it's quite nice actually. So, two wheels on the grass there. One thing I just thought of that would be quite cool if leaves would land on the edge of the track. You could run over and have some slightly lost grip. And there's no Toyota MR2 to spin out when you're racing your A86. Initial D third stage reference. But Yeah, right. Oh, we're sliding. Yeah, I've got much less grip on the rear. Now, you can see puddles are forming, and, well, I think they sort of form in roughly the same places. Their depth changes and whatnot. I think. I mean, it makes sense considering how well the rain simulation is done. I've taken this turn awfully every single time. I should take a much later apex. There we go. Yeah, there's a puddle on the outside sending me outside. There's a puddle on the inside sending me outside. Throttle control is suddenly a lot more important. Puddles, while they won't ruin your race, they will still... They'll give you a scare at least. There's the AI sort of not adapting to you. Like, I suppose there's a difference between... Like, sort of, the Gran Turismo will throw themselves across the road to get out your way sort of deal. Oh, can we get a better run through this turn? Oh, yes we can. Oh, that was close, yeah. Car's battered and ruined, but we did it. Yeah, I think give it a few weeks, maybe more players will play, and especially after Christmas, I think by then the driver tales should have adapted enough, hopefully. We can only hope. But yeah, Forza 7. It's a good racing game, not so good as sort of a anything else game. Like every part about it is, I mean, customization and multiplayer is basically pointless because of homologation. Same with Rivals, you can't even build your own cars or tune for that. So, you know, it makes it even more obvious what the leaderboard cars are. But yeah, and yeah, there are leaderboard cars on Rivals. But yeah, overall, I'd recommend getting this if you're a fan of the Forza game. By far the best Forza game, or Forza Motorsport game since 4. If you love 4, get this. Yeah, not really much else to say, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Until next video, goodbye.